Hi everyone, meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you during our continued coverage of our severe Typhoon Usagi, still pushing off here towards the west of Taiwan, but the rain bands are still pushing on shore and we're still seeing these very intense winds here on Saturday evening. Winds already reported actually there in southern Taiwan up to about 172 kilometers per hour. Pressure on Bosco here in the Batanes Islands actually down to 923 HPA at one point, and they had sustained winds right around 150 kilometers per hour. So a very serious storm system, very intense winds out here. Also, we have been seeing widespread rainfall. Some areas of southern Taiwan, rain reported over the past 72 hours up to 500 millimeters, and this is just showing in the past, 18 hours out here. Some areas have seen over 300 millimeters of rainfall, and before this is all said and done, as we go into Sunday, I do think over 500 millimeters in some areas, and even more than that very well could be possible. So we're definitely still watching that heavy rainfall here, but this is still pulling off there towards the west, and also has far-reaching implications outside of just southern Taiwan, where this storm system just passed by. And this is just some of the latest information I put together here on Saturday evening in Taiwan. We have seen some reports, people commenting on our website here, there in southern Taiwan, of large debris being blown around, not just small branches, but larger objects out here. Winds up to 172 kilometers per hour was reported. Also, James Reynolds was there in southern Taiwan. He did report a storm surge occurring, boats being tossed about there, and people even being knocked off their feet. Into the Philippines, 2 deaths have been reported at this time, according to the NDRRMC. 2 people are still missing. A tornado in Bago City impacted at least 13 families there. No casualties reported, thankfully, from that, but that is a common occurrence during typhoons. We do see tornadoes come ashore. Severe flooding also reported in portions of northern Luzon, and at least 4 landslides. Hong Kong and the metropolitan area around there, Guangzhou, Macau, they're being ready for this storm system, expecting some damaging winds going into Sunday night. The worst of the weather is going to be expected through the overnight hours, right around midnight. I do think the storm system is going to be right overhead. Already these signal force warnings are being put in place out there. So we're definitely still going to watch the storm system here in Taiwan. You can see these rain bands pushing on shore. And the key thing I want to know with this is look how it stops right in the center of Taiwan. That is because of the mountains here. If you're on the west coast, which is the more populated area, we have been seeing some reports of people saying it really wasn't raining at all today, and the winds were much lighter. Main reason those mountains stop it. It all stays on the east coast there. Eye wall down here towards the south, that has remained offshore, but these rain bands continuing to push onshore, and do expect that to continue to remain in place here through Saturday evening. So if you are watching this, you still have power, just continue to remain hunkered down as the storm does push by off there towards the west. And that the eye is well offshore, and it does look like many ships have taken notice, a lot of them starting to take shelter. There's still a good amount of traffic around Hong Kong, but if you look out here towards the west, a lot of ships pushing towards the west of Hainan taking shelter, and many of them still off here in the Taiwan Strait off there towards the north. We were also tracking a ship there, the Kodaiji-san, which was out here just towards the west of Taiwan Strait, but it looks like the report, if you were following us on Facebook earlier today, was about a 10-hour delay, so hopefully that ship is well removed from when that storm system is at this time. So some good news there. But as far as Hong Kong, people definitely need to be getting ready for this now. Shipping traffic is. And now as far as the track at this time, there is some good news, and of course there is going to be some bad news. The good news is that over the next 24 hours, most of the agencies are expecting a gradual decrease in intensity with our typhoon. It's not going to be this monster Category 4, Category 5 system as it pushes onshore here and around the Hong Kong area. I don't think that's likely the equivalent of a Category 2 or a strong Category 1. Regardless, it's still going to be a very potent system that comes ashore. Winds are probably right around 80, gusting up to 115 knots. That is not winds you want to mess around with. The Hong Kong Observatory also has winds at this time at 195 kilometers per hour, but they do have a gradual decrease in intensity. But the key thing is them, JTWC, JMA, all the big agencies They take it basically making landfall in the left side of the storm right over Hong Kong Island, but it just barrels right through here and right out there towards Guangzhou. So this is really going to be one of these scenarios where I do think there is a high risk of some storm surge. Typhoon strength winds are very well possible starting Sunday afternoon into the evening hours. I know a lot of the flights have stopped their service right around 1800 Hong Kong Standard Time here on Sunday. They're saying no more flights, period, after that. And I'm actually surprised it won't be any sooner than that. And definitely, if you're on one of those flights at 1800, it's not going to be a pleasant ride, I suppose. It's definitely going to be a lot of turbulence. Now, this image, actually right around 0300, let's back it up a little bit from the GFS model. This is going into about 9 p.m. Hong Kong time, Guangzhou town, Macau. Those strong winds right over Hong Kong Island, and I do think that's when the worst of the storm's really going to be. Directly overhead here by midnight, but a slight weakening is going to be expected, but still it's going to be packing these typhoon strength winds. And really, signal warning number 8, I think that's going to be in place out here on Hong Kong Island. So, or if it's not in place, I'll be very, very surprised. As far as going into Monday morning, conditions will be improving. I don't know if people are going to have work off or not there on Monday morning, but there is a possibility. It just depends on how much damage this is going to be causing across much of the area. So a really serious threat here. This is by midnight, according to the GFS model. Let's just compare it up with one other model, the ECMWF. I know I have been comparing these two, but this is the most latest runs. Same time, eye directly over the island here. You may get a stadium effect. Unfortunately, it is going to be late at night, so I wouldn't venture out at all. I do not recommend going out in a typhoon, but tenfold when it is dark out, because debris can be flying around in winds like this, and it's going to be a very serious situation if you cannot see debris coming at you. Picture this, actually. Winds at this time are expected to be gusting around 110 knots. If you get a piece of wood hitting you at 110 knots, just think of the amount of damage that could cause on a human body. So with that said, we are still watching this throughout the next several days. I may have another update around midnight tonight, so something to stay tuned to. If not, it's going to be first thing early tomorrow morning on Sunday morning. Meanwhile, James Reynolds, who has been providing us information as well, he was in southern Taiwan with Jim Eds. They're both flying out of Taipei, and they're trying to get ahead of this storm system here by Sunday morning, get back there in Hong Kong, so we're going to be looking for his video as well. Just follow him on at Typhoon Fury on Twitter. You can also follow us at Western Pacific Weather on Facebook and Twitter as well. Stay safe out there, everybody. And, of course, thanks for watching. We look forward to your reports. And please just hunker down and wait for the storm system to pass if you are ahead of it. Bye.